Hi. So in this session, I want to add two more functions, add and multiply, to our fraction class. And what they should do is, if I have a fraction, let's say 2 by 3, and if I have a fraction 4 by 5, if I say f1 dot add f2, what should happen is f1's value should change to 2 by 3 plus 4 by 5. Whatever is the result of this operation, f1 should go to that, f2 should stay exactly the same. Nothing should change, right? So let's quickly write this code. Okay, so let me get rid of these. So let's say I have 2 by 5, this is my f1, and let's say I have f2, which is another fraction, which is 1 by 3. So 1 comma 3 basically means 1 by 3. Okay, I need to run this as well. Perfect. So you have f1 and f2. What I want to achieve is f1 dot add f2. What it should do is it should change f1's value. So if I print f1 later on, it should print the addition of 2 by 5 and 1 by 3. Okay, so how should we do this? So this function add will basically, because you're saying f1 dot add f2, so what should happen is f1 will be passed as self, right? Because you are calling on f1, so f1 will be passed as self, and f2 will be passed as the second argument. So this function will receive two arguments, self and other fraction, right? So you have self and you have the other fraction. What you need to do is you need to change the attributes of self to the addition values. So if I have, let's say, x by y plus a by b, so what is the resultant? It's, if I want to add them, the denominator becomes by, this becomes bx plus ay. That's how you add two fractions. So that's exactly what we need to do, right? So the new numerator for this should be this, the new denominator should be this, right? That's what needs to happen. So let's just quickly write here itself. So there'll be a new numerator. The new numerator will be bx. What is b? B is other fractions denominator into x is self's numerator plus other fraction numerator into self dot denominator. This is the new numerator, right? Other fraction dot denominator is b, so b into self dot numerator, which is x, so b into x, plus other fraction dot numerator, which is a into self dot denominator, which is y, so a into y. So that's what my numerator is, the new numerator. The new denominator is simpler, it's simply other fractions denominator into self dot denominator. Once you have calculated these two values, you can simply set self dot numerator as new numerator, self dot denominator as new denominator, and that should do it. That should simply do it. So let's run it now. So it's giving you 11 by 15. Let's make sure this is correct. So 2 by 5 plus 1 by 3, 15, 3, 6 plus 5, 11 by 15. That's correct. So the answer seems to be correct. Okay. Okay. So let's try one more time. So let's try to add 2 by 3 and 1 by 3. So 2 by 3 and 1 by 3 being added is giving you 9 by 9. That's a little weird. It should ideally give us 1. So basically we want that whenever we add two fractions, the resultant should be simplified, right? The resultant should be simplified. That's very straightforward because we already have the simplify function. What you can do is, after setting the numerator and denominator in self, you can simply call self dot, you want to call on this object, self dot simplify, and that should take care of it. Now when you call it, it should print 1, because when you simplified 9 by 9, it became 1 by 1. As soon as it became 1 by 1, print will simply print 1 because the denominator is 1. So that's something that we took care of initially. So we have our add function. Works absolutely fine. Any edge case that we need to worry about? What if the numerator for one of them is 0? I think that's okay, because what will happen is the new numerator will become, 0 is fine. We don't have to worry about that. 0 by 5 plus 1 by 3, what will happen is you will say 15, 3 into 0 plus 5 into 1, so it will be 5 by 15, and when you simplify it, it will become 1 by 3, which was the one of the fractions. What is the correct answer? That is the correct answer. Perfect. Let's quickly have another method that I want to add. This was 1 by 5, let's keep it 1 by 5. So I want to multiply f1 and f2, and the result should go into f1. Okay. So very similar logic. So I'll write the multiply function. Self will be passed, the first object will be passed as self, the second will be passed as the other fraction. The second will be passed here, so I'm just naming it other fraction, right? What will be the new numerator? I think this is very, very straightforward. The new numerator will be other fraction dot numerator into self dot numerator. The new denominator will be other fraction dot denominator into self dot denominator. We didn't need these two extra variables. We would have simply done directly into self dot numerator, but I'm just doing it because it's a little easier to understand. So self dot denominator is new denominator. Once you're done with this, simply call simplify so that the new fraction is simplified. See, I don't want to add, I'm not going to add, so I'm just going to do multiplication and I'm going to say print. So the new answer is 2 by 15. So let's try something more interesting. Right, let's try this. 4 by 6 into 7 by 8. So 4 by 6, 7 by 8. Not adding, directly multiplying. So it's printing 7 by 12 because what happens is 28 by 48 and what it is, it's divisible by 4, so 7 by 12. So that's what it is printing. It is printing the simplified form, right? So we are able to add, we are able to multiply as well. So our fraction class is getting a lot more interesting now. Now that it has a lot more information, it is able to do a lot more stuff, and we'll improve it later on as well, right? I'll recommend you to add as many functions as you can think of and try to make it a lot richer class. And that will basically teach you these concepts in a much better way. Once you practice them with a couple of classes, you will not forget about these concepts. Okay, perfect. In the next session, in a couple of sessions, I would want you to build another class that is the complex number class. I'll give you a small intro on how you can go about doing it, but I want you to write all the code for complex number class. Python already has complex numbers, but doesn't matter. We will write our own class, and I want you to write code for that. Okay, thank you.